The Pittsburgh Steelers just pulled off one of their grittiest wins of the season, a 34-12 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. But the celebration came with a major cloud hanging over it. Their future Hall of Fame quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, left the game with a left wrist injury and never returned. Yet somehow, despite losing their biggest star and later losing their top defensive playmaker to an ejection, the Steelers found a way to dominate on both sides of the ball and keep themselves on top of the AFC North. Rodgers is the oldest active player in the NFL at 41 years old, and the injury happened sometime during the second quarter. It wasn't clear in real time exactly when he got hurt, but he took a pair of heavy hits on one drive as the half was winding down, both of which actually drew roughing the passer flags on the Bengals. That opened the door for Mason Rudolph, a familiar face who's been the Steelers' go-to backup for years. Rudolph didn't even know he'd be entering the game until Rodgers pointed at him in the locker room at halftime. But when he stepped onto that field, he looked like someone who had been preparing for this moment all season. He completed 12 of 16 passes for 127 yards and threw a clutch 5-yard touchdown to Kenneth Gainwell late in the fourth quarter. It felt like a flashback to 2023 when Rudolph stepped in and led Pittsburgh on a late push toward the postseason. After the game, he said playing in Pittsburgh still feels like home, and on this day, it certainly showed. But the offense wasn't the only group stepping up. This game belonged just as much, maybe even more, to the Steelers' defense. A month ago, Cincinnati shredded them. This time, Pittsburgh flipped the script. Safety Kyle Duggar, who was brought in from the Patriots in a trade last month, delivered the turning point, a 74-yard pick six in the third quarter, right when the Bengals were threatening. It was the 10th interception of Duggar's career, and maybe the easiest one he's ever had. And the defense wasn't done. Cornerback James Pierre scooped up a late fumble and returned it 32 yards to the end zone, sealing a day where the Steelers' defense outscored the Bengals' offense on their own. Joe Flacco, who had been playing surprisingly well for the Bengals at 40 years old, came crashing back to earth. He completed 23 of 40 passes for 199 yards, 1 touchdown, and that huge interception. Cincinnati just couldn't finish drives, and every time the Steelers offered them a chance, the Bengals failed to take advantage. With all the chaos, Pittsburgh still found heroes who weren't even the headliners. Kenneth Gainwell, signed in the offseason, was everywhere. 81 receiving yards, 24 rushing yards, and that late touchdown. Tight end Darnell Washington, the massive 6'7", 300-plus-pound weapon, bulldozed defenders and finished with 4 catches for 67 yards, including a highlight reel stiff arm and run in the second quarter. Injuries also piled up on both sides. Cincinnati lost starting corner Cam Taylor-Britt to a foot injury. Drew Sample exited briefly but returned. For Pittsburgh, receiver and return man Keyshawn Williams left early with a concussion and didn't return. But despite injuries, ejections, and quarterback uncertainty, the Steelers walked off the field looking tougher than ever. If Rodgers' wrist injury turns out to be manageable, Pittsburgh may have gained something far more important today, proof that they can win even when everything goes sideways. What do you think? Did Mason Rudolph show enough for Steelers fans to trust him if Rodgers misses time? And what's your take on the Ramsey Chase drama? Was it overblown, or did something cross the line out there? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. As a single mom, your support means everything to me. Please subscribe for more updates and stories like this. Thank you.